Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of The Nick Williams Show. My name is Nick Williams. I'm an independent filmmaker and producer north of Boston. Tonight, joining me in my studio is producer Ed.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad, man. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Got any fun plans for New Year's?
No. Probably watching a movie like last year.
That sounds really boring. This New Year's is kind of important for a multitude of reasons. One is another trip around the sun. Which is the least important reason. But two, it's also the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States of America. And for someone like me, who on both sides of my family, I have both immigrant relatives and members of my family that have been in this country since the 1500s. It's kind of a big deal. And along with the 250th celebration, I started to think about the beginning of the country. And don't worry, this is not a history podcast, but hear me out on this. I started to think about the history of the country and the founding of the country and why it got started. And I can't help myself, but I keep drawing a lot of similarities between the way that people were feeling and the current industry that I'm in today. And when I say the way people were feeling, I mean the way people were feeling 250 years ago. And when I look back on that time, not that I was around, but everything that we learned in history tells us that there was a group of people far away from the power that controlled them that felt unappreciated, unlistened to, overtaxed, overregulated, and they were in such a different place and different culture. And then I started thinking about the fact that in somewhere like Hollywood, they dictate the way that movies should be made, which makes absolutely no sense if you think about it. There's no other industry. Yeah, there's no other, I had to think about it for a second, but there's no other industry. Like if I wanted to open a restaurant, the rest of the restaurants in New England are not going to say, well, you have to fill out this form and that form and everything else for our approval before you can open a restaurant. In the same way that if I was a food vendor for a restaurant, I could walk into a restaurant and say, hey, I sell this type of food. If you serve this type of food, would you like to buy it from me as your vendor? But I can't walk into a movie theater and say, hey, I have this movie. Do you want to play it on your screen? In fact, there are buyers and there's a whole process behind it. And I'm not talking about governmental regulations, but, certain unions that seem to only stand in solidarity with members of the filmmaking community that don't actually do anything will end up shutting us down. When I look at Hollywood today, I really feel like Hollywood or the studio system or whatever it is, this Paramount to buy Warner Brothers / maybe Netflix to buy one. I mean, this stuff is so far above any of our heads, but that doesn't mean that we don't matter as independent filmmakers. I guess my point is, when you look at the studio system in Hollywood, it really has become the McDonald's of filmmaking, if you think about it. The movies are expensive, sure, but the quality of the stories is lacking. And 90% of the stories that we see are basically just finger wagging. They're not telling us stories about morality or dreams of people from all over the world. They're just telling us how bad we are or how we should do. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah, it does.
All right, good, because I don't want to go too far off the rails, but it just bothers me. And I feel like the new year, everybody's always talking about New Year's resolutions. God knows I could stand to lose a few pounds. But I really feel like we have an opportunity right now. Every study done about these younger generations, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're not even buying iPhones anymore. And the way that AI is going, everything advertising is going to end up being AI slop. I honestly, that's what made me start thinking about this stuff. Merriam-Webster does the word of the year or whatever it is, similar to the way that Time Magazine does the word of the year. And the year for 2025 is slop. It's kind of, among other things, it's kind of embarrassing if you think about it. It's kind of gross. And if you look at American cinema, yes, there's fantastic movies that come out of, personally, I love Korean cinema. I think it's fantastic. And French cinema, and there's a whole bunch of different places that have great movies. But American cinema kind of dictates the way that entertainment goes. You have, whatever happened to movies like Casablanca and I don't know, anything. Quote a movie. If you're watching this right now, after you hit the subscribe button and all of that stuff, which obviously should have been done in the very beginning, but after you hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below of your favorite movie quote. I really don't even care what the movie is, but just leave your favorite movie quote down below. I guarantee you that 100% of the movie quotes that are in the comments section, if there are any comments whatsoever, none of them are for movies that came out in the last decade. That's a little crazy. And I feel like there's this misconception right now that people are fighting for everyone's attention. Oh, well, everyone's attention span is so low and all this other stuff. It's actually not. It's really not. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, like I said, they're going back to flip phones. They don't even want to have iPhones. They know that this stuff is brain rot. That's why they call it slop. It's kind of just a bunch of shit. But be that as it may, I guess I only say that because what I'm saying is I don't think that movies are dying. I don't think it's going to be that difficult to gain the attention of other people. I feel like humans can kind of rise above that. And the reason I'm hopeful is because, 250 years ago, we did. Obviously, the circumstances were different. But I guess in the least crybaby way possible, I feel like independent filmmakers should feel oppressed. Whatever race, religion, sexual orientation, none of that stuff matters. Nobody can afford anything. We wonder why people aren't going to the theaters because movies are too expensive. And that kind of begs the question of why are movies too expensive? Similarly, why was tea too expensive back in the day? But regardless, we're in the industry. It's incumbent upon us to make content, to make new things. I always ask this of friends of mine, filmmaker friends of mine. I always say, like, who's the next Scorsese? Not like it's going to be me or even, anyone that I know, but it's going to be one of you. And I only say that because these things are generational. No one will ever replace Scorsese, but someone's got to be next. I don't know what it is. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of stuff, maybe a lot of stuff online. I am admittedly terminally online, but I just don't see a lot of millennials kind of taking ownership or responsibility of the next steps in life. I'm going to be 32 next year. My dad was married and I was born by the time he was 32. I don't want people to feel like I'm finger wagging them. I mean, it's an internal look at myself as well. But we all should be stepping up. We all should be making stuff. I put a poll out on my Instagram. You should follow it, WillCo_media. And I said, which of these issues are we struggling with the most? One of them was funding, and I said distribution, networking, things like that. 46% said funding. And at first, I'm not going to lie, I thought to myself, that's ridiculous. We should be making stuff, and if we're not making stuff right now, there's not going to be anything to be made. And then I started looking, I was like, why are there no projects going on? Upwards of 50% of projects that are major Hollywood productions take place abroad. 25+% take place in Canada. That's what American cinema has become, Canadian cinema. And there's nothing wrong with Canadians. Maybe there is, I don't know. I'm not Canadian. But how can you call something American if you're not even making it in America? Yes, I know how that sounds. Everything's made in China. I get it. I get it. Isn't that kind of embarrassing, though? Isn't that kind of sad to think about? Seriously. Even the actors and some of the crew and everybody else. Now, granted, some productions do happen, but not as many as there should be. Why is it that Hollywood's answer, once they became these corporate overlord giants, whatever it is, right? Why is the answer to continue making really expensive movies? Why wouldn't they be reaching out to filmmakers in all 50 states? This is the thing that I don't understand. It's like the dumbest business model across the board. Every other business model in the world, to like bad PR levels, like Apple using slave labor to build iPhones. They all try and make their product as cheaply as humanly possible. And listen, that's not necessarily a good thing either. Like, they do it so that they can maximize profit, right? Like, I get it. I don't necessarily agree with that either. I like the guy from, what's it called, Ed? The Arizona Iced Tea. He was doing an interview and someone said, why don't your Arizona Iced Tea is 99 cents. It's always been 99 cents. Why don't you raise your prices? And the CEO is like, because we make money. What do you mean? Because we're okay. Because I can pay all my employees. Easily could have been $2.50, $3. Bottled water in a gas station is like $2.25. Everything across the board is expensive. I think part of the reason the funding answer upset me the way that it did was because, not because you're wrong. Obviously, funding is a big issue. I'm dealing with it right now. I have multiple productions in development that are just not going anywhere because of funding. But it's so frustrating because when I got into this industry, I never thought to myself, oh, I can't wait to, get funding for my multi-million-dollar movie or what. I was like, I want to make movies. Like, do you feel this way, Edmund? Am I crazy? Is it like, I understand that funding's an issue, but did you get into this thinking like, oh, I'm going to get millions of dollars? Or were you like, oh, that's a cool industry. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was a thought, but that's not the reason why I got into it. Definitely the creative.
Of course, it's a thought because people in this industry some of them do make millions of dollars. But if you're independent, if you're not in Hollywood, if you're not dealing with those people, apparently if you're not Canadian, you're not making anything. And they take the upper echelon, right? They take the director and they'll take the top name celebrities. They give them millions and then they go use IATSE Canada. I just think it's ridiculous. On top of that, after going to that talk that Ian Messina gave at the New Hampshire Film Festival, which Ian's great, I love him, but listening to that lady from SAG say that AI is just going to affect, it's going to start, it's going to be a thing, it's inevitable, we have no control. How is it inevitable? How about we don't use it? Instead of standing in solidarity with actors against AI, how about you say SAG will not participate in any production that uses any AI? How about you stand up for the people that pay you monthly or annually or whatever the hell it is that you don't allow to be in smaller productions if they want to take a lesser rate, if they want to contribute, whatever. And you can get a waiver. I shouldn't need a waiver from SAG. SAG's trying to be OSHA. You're not OSHA. You're a union. I get it. That's fine. But I'm not part of the AMPTP. I don't understand it. Why everyone has to play by the same rules. I'm not even saying that Hollywood shouldn't exist. Hollywood should exist, and they can have all of their stuff, and it can be whatever it is, but no other industry. There's even tech companies in Boston. Like, what I mean by that, the tech company thing, is that it's not just all Silicon Valley. Yes, they're the biggest, and equally, Hollywood will always be the biggest. I'm not an idiot. Over 50% of productions are going overseas. Even if it's just over the line in Canada, it means it's not American work. There aren't American IATSE members or whatever working on those productions. That's a problem. I think one of the beautiful things about funding being what everybody says is their biggest issue in this industry is that we need to expand and broaden our horizons when it comes to funding. We need to be finding ways to make things less expensive. We need to be really vocal, I would say, about getting into theaters and things like that. But we can't sit back and rely on Hollywood to take care of us when you have all major corporations in Hollywood. The biggest of which, I would say, Disney, has literally just come out and said that they're going to invest $1 billion into AI. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They don't care. If you're, but here's the thing. Parliament, the Crown, everybody over in England, they didn't care about us back then either. And instead of whimpering and crying and being like, oh, I wish they'd care about us, whatever, we went off and did our own thing. And they didn't like it, but it is what it is. Sometimes in order to, like, make a stand for yourself, you have to just kind of put yourself out there and do it. And you got to hold yourself accountable. But movies should be being made regardless of funding right now. They're just not. Edmund, am I making sense? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Good. That's great. Let me see. So yeah, sorry, notes. New Year's resolution in filmmaking. I'd like to make as many productions this year as humanly possible. I would love to be able to take productions on behalf of all of you guys to cinemas, theaters, whatever. If we got to sell it, let's sell it. Whatever we got to do. But we need to focus on features. We need to focus on theaters. And we need to hold theaters accountable. Honestly, if they're going to die and they don't want us to have our movies in there, then what's the difference? I think we should have cheap movie tickets. And I think that it's time for a little bit of, I used to call it an indie renaissance, but in the spirit of 250, let's call it an indie revolution. Let's change an industry. Let's see what we can do. And if there's one thing that I know for sure, it's that the people in Massachusetts, they started this country. We can start a revolution if we want to. Not everything has to be political all the time. Sometimes we have to take a step back and go, listen, this is what we do for a living. This is what I grew up in an America that told me that I can be whatever I want to be when I grow up. Great. Then allow me to be what I want to be. Allow me to put my films in theaters. Allow the public to determine whether or not the films are good or bad, whether or not I lose money, I make money, whatever. That should be up to the public. It shouldn't necessarily be up to some corporate guy who's never set foot on a film set, who's in the Epstein files on top of everything else. I didn't name anybody specifically, but I'm just saying it's true. That's what these people are. They are unaliving themselves in real time. And, you know, it just makes me feel like there are so many stupid people that can't see their hand in front of their own face. And I feel like there's a lot of complacency and a lot of hope and a lot of waiting, but it's time to stop waiting. Use this New Year resolution momentum that you have, whether it's you want to lose weight, whether you should or shouldn't. In my case, it's not really a top priority, as you can tell. But whether you want to lose weight and get healthier, whether you want to quit smoking, whatever, that's great. How about you make some movies while you're at it? Does this sound insane?
No, I like it.
I don't know. I feel like I had, you put me on this different document here and messed up my notes.
That's your computer. You did that.
Probably. I'm still going to blame you, though, any chance that I get.
Yeah, I know. I'm used to it.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I don't know. I just, those, how do you feel about what I said?
Which part?
Drawing the parallels between George III and the United States film industry of today.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have anything to add.
Of course you don't have anything to add. I'm asking about what you thought about what I said.
I thought it was great.
What are you doing? You think it's funny? My idiot producer thinks it's funny to sit there and giggle and not commentate on things, and I apologize. But that's all right. There are many of you out there, many of you who would do this job happily and would commentate and add stuff.
I'm happy. I'll comment on the next bit.
That is the bit. What are you talking about, the next bit? That's not funny. I'm not laughing. You can giggle.
I'll bring up the Google Doc. I'll add some stuff.
Hey, Ian's there. I love it. I love that Ian's there. What's going on, Ian? How are you? Let me see. Well, no, it's true. Dan says you tell him, Nick. This is the reality of the situation. I don't really understand why we, as people, don't come together and say, okay, it sucks. It sucks for everybody. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't go to film school, did you?
Yeah, I did.
You did go to film school? Where'd you go?
Well, I went to Keene State for film.
Is Keene State? Why are there trailers playing on the stream right now? Do I have this backed up? Hold on. Oh, I have it way back. Hold on. No, you're good. You're good. You don't have to do anything. That's my bad. Apologies. Did you go to film school?
Yeah.
Did they teach you, and you, let's be honest here, you produced the show, and I appreciate it and everything else, but you mainly do gaffing, correct?
Yeah, mostly
for
lighting.
films.
Yeah.
Lighting.
Mostly like corporate commercial stuff.
It doesn't matter the type of stuff. You focus on lighting, yes or no?
Mostly, yes.
Okay, this is my point. Did they teach you how to do lighting in film school? Was that would you say that's the overall message that they were pushing on you, or was it something more like you'll be the next Spielberg if you just do these film things?
My film program was not...
I don't care about the quality. I'm asking what their message to you was. I know the quality's crap. Because look at the stuff that comes out of film school. No offense. And if you're in film school right now and you don't watch or subscribe to this show, good luck to you afterward. Good luck. There's going to be 1,500 Spielbergs that come out of Emerson that have no idea what they're going to do next. Well, I think I'll hit up a hair salon for $1,500. Good luck doing that for the next 25 fucking years. That'll be great, you know?
Yeah.
Or you could pay attention and actually learn something, and then we could all make films together. If you want to make narrative films after college, you should be watching a show like this while you're in college. There's no question. You should be someone like Dan, who's in the chat right now, who worked with me prior to going into film school and then called me when he got there and was like, why am I here? Why am I here? Sorry to call you out, Dan, but it's true. You did do that. Listen, there's nothing wrong with film school. It's great networking, if you're from Idaho, whatever it is. But my point is there is a growing populace that works in media and film, especially in New England. And maybe it's the tax incentives. I really don't think that 18-year-olds are like, whoa, where has the best tax incentives for filmmaking? But at the same time, Boston seems to be, and New England more broadly, seems to be a hub of education for film. So we bring all of the talent to New England, and then after they graduate, they all go and live in a tent encampment in West Hollywood, and they're a barista on the side, but they tell people at parties, I'm a filmmaker, I got a couple things going, whatever it is. If you're a filmmaker, then make movies. You should be everybody. This is why I've said this before. I said this on the episode I did with Dan way back. I said everyone should have a YouTube channel. Everyone should have a YouTube channel. Ian has a YouTube channel. Everybody should go subscribe to Ian Messina. From now until eternity, that's forever in the stream. Everyone should have a YouTube channel. It's going to become the next best way to communicate. Nobody goes to bars anymore. You can't go to the movies. They're too expensive. What we should be doing is focusing on getting our stuff. I can't look at the chat in my thing when it's going up. It's very distracting to me. So you can handle the chat for now. I'm sorry. Chat away, but I can't look at it. It's too much. I got a giant screen next to me. All right. Sorry. We should be making film. I get so distracted. Is that why you're laughing at me?
Yeah.
Because I tangent.
Mm-hmm.
I weave. I bring it back.
You weave a bit.
I do a little, I come back. I want to look up, do me a favor, look up for me how many films, like the amount of films that Hollywood has made over the last 100 years. You can if you go to ChatGPT, I'm sure that they can pull something up, but I would prefer real analysis, real-time live analysis. Because it just seems to me that the films from Hollywood, industry films, are becoming more and more expensive, and the productions are becoming less and less, but the films that end up coming out are less and less and less quality for whatever reason. For whatever reason. And there's no story and there's no morals. Movies are supposed to inspire, and they're supposed to show people a different viewpoint than their own. You're supposed to change the world. And maybe some people say that that's like, propaganda and so on and so forth. But give me a break. So make other movies. If you don't like the movies that are coming out, if you feel like they're propaganda, make your own. What?
So the amount of films made in Hollywood every year?
Over time, I want the bell curve. Like when was the peak? 1940? 1950s?
There's a photo right here. It looks like the peak was 1940.
1940. How many movies were being made on average per year in the 40s? Or in 1940, whatever it is.
It says maybe about like 650.
650 films.
1940, yeah.
And what is the amount now at the end of that bell curve, whatever year?
That it ends at 2020.
Okay, how many movies were being made then? Give it 2019.
2019?
Or whatever, in that range. Recent numbers,
Probably
Edmund.
about 200.
Yeah. Why? So you're saying as technology got better, we made less stuff? As cameras became more consumer friendly, we made less stuff?
Well, how long were films in the 40s? Like what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Are you out of your mind?
Well, I mean, it depends on how.
Whoa. This is live on YouTube. You can't edit this out later. All right, wait. Are you joking?
Did they have like other...
Answer my question and we can continue. Are you joking?
I'm not joking.
You think movies were 10 minutes in 1940?
I wasn't around.
Did you think they had sound in 1940?
Yeah.
Let me put things in perspective. The Wizard of Oz came out in 1938. Did The Wizard of Oz have sound?
It did.
Producer? Anybody want to produce a show, give me a call. Give me a call.
I'm asking if...
It's all right, Ed. It's all right. If anybody out there wants to produce a show, give me a call. You have to have at least some knowledge of the film industry. 10-minute films. Maybe in 1910, you went, and if you have a film degree from Keene State, don't call me. Don't call me. I'll tell you right now, you've wasted your money. Don't call me. Anybody else? I'm Emerson. I'll take Framingham. I'll even go Fitchburg. I'll take Salem State. Keene? I say that, but you know who else went to Keene State? Ben Heald. I love Ben. Ben went to... Okay, Ben can call me, but that's where I draw the line. That's it. I'm so frustrated. We should be pumping them out. There should be a million little studios across the country. People should be utilizing places like Studio Lab with Ian and everywhere else. And they shouldn't be, no offense to anybody who charges money, but like it shouldn't cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I got into this because it's fun. It's a lot of work, and it takes time, and it takes talent, but it's so collaborative. For everything to go to AI is like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people out of work. And it's not even made by a human. I'm not talking about set extensions. I'm talking about entire films generated with AI. That's a problem. They're inhuman. Art is the simplest way for humans to express themselves. I would say that if there's no human involved, then it shouldn't even be considered artwork at all. I don't know. Go ahead, Ed. Tell me more about your illustrious education that you received at Keene State and the 10-minute silent films you were watching in the 1940s. I can't believe you just said that. They were making 650 films, and you think they were each 10 minutes apiece.
If that.
You're so crazy. Yes, that's just such a crazy take.
Here's something crazier. At my film school, they did not have a lighting course.
Okay. And you charge, what's your day rate? I wouldn't say that next. Does anybody else find that absolutely hilarious? Edmund the Gaffer says that they didn't have a lighting course at the film school he went. So what did you learn?
Not much.
I didn't know you went to film school. You have a degree in film production?
Film production, yeah.
What, seriously speaking, what did they teach you? And I want you to understand something right now. Whatever you say, I'm not trying to hold against you personally. It's me making fun of Keene State. So what does it take for you to get a film production degree, Edmund? Please tell me.
Well, you have to make a thesis film.
Great. What did they teach you? You have to make a thesis film. So they give you, you paid X amount of dollars, tens of thousands, I assume.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of dollars for a film production degree. And all you got was them telling you, go make a film. I'm doing that for free. Can I make tens of thousands for saying go make a film? Hey, students, I'll do this. Whatever your tuition is, cut it in half. I'll take 50% and tell you to make films for that. How's that sound? Seriously, what was like, give me an example of a course. Give me an example of something they taught. Anything. Literally, you were there for how long?
4 years.
Give me anything out of the 4 years that they taught you. Listen closely, folks. I'm not making fun of Edmund. I'm making fun of Keene. Tell me what Keene State taught you. How much, answer me this, riddle me this one, Batman. How much did it cost you to go to Keene State per year?
I do not want to answer that right now.
Answer the question.
It's
Edmund.
a lot. It was a lot.
Answer the question. How much was tuition plus room and board if you did that at Keene State?
Yeah, I did room and board. Little upwards of $25 a year.
A year.
Because I was out of state, that also almost doubled it.
It's so that like it pains me, bro.
Yeah,
it pains me.
I'm paying it. It pains me.
No, but it pains me because I got people right now looking for $50K to make a film. I got people looking for $50,000 to make a full feature film that has a great story. If you're an investor out there and you're ready to like actually make some money, because even if the film makes like $250K, we are gonna make quadruple our money. So I got people that have finished scripts, ready to shoot scripts. Half the cast is already picked. The director called me. He's like, I want you to produce this film, but I have no money. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So did they teach you how to get funding?
No.
Did they teach you anything about what to do with your film once you've made your film? Any way to recoup? This is so important. I didn't even know that you went to film school. Maybe I did in passing, but I didn't even think to bring this up. So when you go to real estate school, right? It's like a week-long course in Massachusetts. I'm sure every state's a little bit different. But when you go to real estate school, you go to school, and at the end you take a test. And if you pass that test, you get your real estate license. You get the ability to sell homes. That's real estate school. That's a week. When you go to film school, one would think, I didn't go. I didn't spend that money. One would think when you go to film school that you would be educated not only on how to make a film, how to write, structure a story, and get a film made from start to finish, casting, crew building, etc. But what would the point of any of that be if they don't also teach you what to do with this $100,000 MP4 file after you've made it? Just asking. Just wondering. So you paid $100,000 to learn stuff. What was the incentive?
Incentive to finish and go to the school?
Go to film school.
So you can move to Hollywood and become a big-time director.
This is what you were thinking?
Well, I didn't want to really be a director at that point. It's more like a DP.
Children are so undeveloped. It's like sad. Youth is real. I say this as I get old, now that I'm an old man, but youth really is wasted on the young, man. How is it possible? Do you know how many Spielbergs there are? One. There's one Spielberg out there. You're not him because he's him, okay? You're not going to be the next Spielberg, no matter who you are, because you're not Spielberg, you're you, and that's okay. What do you think, you're going to be the only student there? I'm going to go get a film production degree. Nobody else is thinking that. Nobody else is going to do it. Just me. I'm going to go get a film production degree, and I'm going to be the next Spielberg. Then you get there, and there's 400 other people that want to be the next Spielberg. Why is it that the film industry in general, the culture is so individual for such a collaborative activity? That doesn't make any sense to me. It creates this, well, this is my film and this is my baby. And whatever happened to writers who just wrote stories? We need more writers. We need so many more writers to just pump out 90 pages here and there. It's not difficult, of basic stories. And we need a whole ton of B movies to go out. And we need to charge like $1 a ticket. My God, you used to be able to pay 50 cents, 85 cents, whatever it is. You walk into a theater, halfway through the movie, you sit down. Maybe your friends are there already. You watch it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you go into the next theater. They don't care because you already paid 85 cents. That's what they charge. And people talk about greed, but I think it's really just mental illness at some point. You know? Like, yes, it's greedy to want to maximize your profits and all that other stuff, but it just also doesn't really even make any sense. Like, what we're seeing right now in America across the board, whether it's Amazon, Disney, Netflix buying Paramount or anything else, we're seeing all of these people that get power. What would happen if stuff becomes so expensive that everyone just cancels their Netflix subscription? YouTube won the rights to stream the Oscars in 2029. That's free now. Supposedly, they'll probably put it behind a paywall of some sort. Quite frankly, I think Netflix took the wrong direction by making movies and investing in making movies. What they should have done is taken that money and invested it to become more of like a new version of YouTube, but for films only. You can only watch narrative works on the Netflix tube, whatever it is, NetTube. Ooh, that could have been FlixTube. TubeNet. Tell me I'm wrong. Instead, they wasted hundreds of millions of dollars on Netflix studios. Look what they did with Stranger Things. Did you see that? Did you see what they did? Spoilers. I'm about to start ranting about Stranger Things season 5. I didn't care much. No one cared much for it. Why? Do you know why nobody cared much for it?
I don't know.
The world was ending. Vecna was taking over, similarly to how he did at the end of every season. But the only way they were able to overcome things this time around in their final season was if Will came out as gay prior to them destroying the beast. That was very important. What are we doing? What are we doing? We should be telling real stories, man. We should be telling real stories, stories about people, stories about where's the Rambo? Where's the hero? I was so excited when that Superman movie came out, and I'm not even a superhero movie guy. I don't watch that crap, but I got to tell you, like I'm sitting there watching the movie, waiting for Superman to have his moment. Can we make some pro-America films? Is that bad to say? Is that like a politically incorrect thing to say? I'm American. Can we make some pro-America films? Even if it's propaganda. Jesus Christ, everything's propaganda. Everything is so finger-waggy. Where's the patriotism? Everyone complains about division. Oh, we have all this division in the country when it comes to like politics and crap like that. And maybe. So then, isn't it incumbent upon the creators to go out and make things that would, I don't know, maybe unify us? Make us feel as though we're a part of some greater collective that matters? Instead, everything is, this minority, bad this guy, bad this guy. This guy can't destroy evil until he tells people he's gay. What the hell does that even mean? What does that even mean? How is it relevant? Why does it matter? The world is ending. Doesn't that matter? More so than your sexual preference? I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And it's so heartbreaking because I love this industry so much. I remember the first film set I was on. I was like 7 years old, and I'll never forget. I just absolutely fell in love. Used to go to Universal Studios, saw the lot that they, in the set where they shot The Grinch. Such a good movie. I fell in love with an industry that was like dying around me, but it's like they're unaliving themselves. They're not, it's not like they blame the audience. I think it's the stupidest move in the world. Oh my God, I can't, like when I was in the car business, they used to, oh, well, you can't sell anything. And people go, oh yeah, well that customer, that was, they used to call them strokers. That's what they would call them. That guy's a stroker. And you go, well, okay, why is he a stroker? Well, he's just looking. He's kicking. Do your job, dude. Do your job. Identify the needs and wants of your customer. Anytime, let me tell you something business-wise here. I'm going to guess, I'm going to take a long shot here and say they didn't teach you this in film school, okay? But it's true in any business. If you start to blame the consumer for your lack of success, you are doing something wrong. That's the bottom line. If people want your services, but they don't buy your services from you, you might be too expensive. You might need a shower. There's like a lot of different reasons why people don't buy things, but they're not obligated to buy things because we don't live in Soviet Russia. We don't control what people buy. What we do is we make art. We make things. We put our innermost personal things on the screen and we go, this is how I feel about the world. And sometimes the audience agrees, and sometimes they don't. But it's not their fault if they don't agree. You might just be wrong. That's the bottom line. That's it. Or you might be culturally out of touch, similar to the way Hollywood is now. Oh, wow. All right, what are we doing? We're about, what, half an hour in? Because that pre-roll thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, this New Year's season, we need to be thinking about the future. We need to be thinking about what we want to do as a culture and as a collective moving forward. I think it's kind of incumbent upon us to stop thinking on like an individual level and start thinking about each other. How is this person able to work? Is everybody working right now? If they're not working, if you're not working, if you're sitting around doing nothing, shouldn't you call your friends who are also sitting around doing nothing and say, let's get together like we did when we were in our early 20s or when we were in our late teens and we made movies, not for the money, but because we had a fun story, because now we have all of this experience and now we have all of this extra equipment and now we have nothing but time on our hands because Hollywood's making AI movies. Don't you think it would make sense to get together, especially if you see film people all the time? And can we get away from this industry standard crap, please? I'm not talking about safety concerns. Obviously, we need to be safe on sets and stuff like that. But if you're working on a nothing production, I mean budgetary-wise, nothing production, you know? I don't know. If you're the director, you should be Hollywooding. You should be helping. We should be helping each other is really the bottom line. And that's my goal for 2026, is to make as many movies as humanly possible. I'm ready to do it. I will produce and do paperwork, and I will do everything it takes to make these movies. Everything it takes. Anything and everything. You all have my number, and if you don't, hit me up on Instagram. Send me your scripts. Send me whatever it is. If you're an investor looking to make some money, hit me up because I'm going to definitely have scripts coming in. There's no question when I start clipping this episode and putting it out there. I don't know. I feel like in past generations, when stuff was going wrong, people actually did something about it. And for whatever reason, I feel like I'm screaming at a bunch of people who are all watching an entire industry burn to the ground. And there are people in high places pouring gasoline on the fire saying, listen, this thing it's all right. It's just burning a little bit. It'll be okay. We got to snap out of the psychosis and realize what's happening here. They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about your future. They don't care that you got a film degree. You don't matter to them. And I feel like there's been a culture in this industry of stepping on or over each other in order to get to work with these people that don't really care whether you're dead or alive. And there's tons of talent. How many movies have you not made because you weren't able to get funding for them? And I mean, if you're writing the next Avatar, sit down, take a minute. Write stories about people, real stories. If you can't come up with any stories, go sit in a Starbucks and listen to two people have a conversation. Obviously, it's a little weird, a little uncomfortable, but this is how you find real arguments, real people, real issues. Write stories about people going through real things, not problems and scenarios that you think are politically appropriate to whatever. Real problems that affect wide audiences. Everybody's poor right now. Write something about being poor and how you overcome that. And if you're not poor, get away from me. What are you doing? Unless you're an investor, and then I'll take a check. Happily. And we'll make some great money, too. Oh, my God. To the investors out there who want somebody in entertainment who actually knows what to do in order to make money, and my door is open. My door is open, swung hard open. And if you're a business out there looking for a write-off, call me. We can talk. Make a big write-off. Big write-off. And you make a lot of film people happy because there'll be a lot more jobs. In the meantime, we still need to keep busy. Sitting around and making nothing while we wait for a magic check to come in the mail that's probably not coming doesn't save the film industry. I think what it is at the end of the day is we need to care. We need to actually care. I think some people will probably fall off over the next couple of years, but we're going to have a ton of people come out of college and realistically not be able to afford to live. And we got to take care of them. It's our industry. This is what we do. What is the point of having unions like IATSE and SAG if we don't take care of people that need the help, whether they're in the union or not? I don't know. That's where I'm at. That's what I wanted to bitch about. That's what I wanted to preach. It's time for something different. It's time for a revolution. It's time for us to dig in and just start making stuff and stop complaining. You know, it's a call to action. Send me your scripts. Let's make your movies. Let's do what we got to do. There's plenty of actors out there. Why is it that filmmakers expect new and up-and-coming actors to work for free in their movie? We're like, oh, yeah, we'll give them the real footage for their reel. They should work for free. That's great, blah, blah, blah. But if someone wants to hire one of us, we're like, well, it's $650 a day. Why? How does that help anyone? Maybe we should take a line out of the actor's book, and we should start working with them for free or with the intention of making money later. Let's do a back-end only contract, you know? Let's do something where we can actually get something somewhere. I'll fight for it. I'll go talk to the people in the theaters. I really don't care. I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. I'll literally talk to anybody. And if you think I'm wrong, leave a comment down below. You can call me an idiot, but you better have a good justification for it. One thing that I realized very recently, and I'd like to do a whole other show about, is how, like, the idea of celebrity and fame and all this other stuff, the only reason we think that is because we see it on, you know, Entertainment Tonight or Access Hollywood or TMZ or any of that stuff. All of those companies, they're all owned and operate out of Hollywood. They're all industry stuff. I would love, and if anybody knows of anybody who works at the Boston Globe or at any major newspaper in the area or anything like that, we should be one thing we should all be utilizing more of is public access television. You might think I'm crazy, but I'm serious. You have free equipment that is taxpayer funded, that you pay taxes toward. in your town as part of the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. It's the only way that we're able to have freedom of speech and a free press. They're obligated to provide you with that. Anyone in the town, whether you're in the industry or not, but you have access to equipment. We all have access to a studio. And anything you make with their equipment, they're obligated to put on their network because that's how it works. And we're worried about getting our name out there or finding funding. If you're not making anything, how can you have people know what they're funding? How about we put some proof out there? Something real too, not some crappy political message that we don't even care about, that we're making, because let me tell you, it's not working. We need to remove the politics from the industry. Anyway, I can go on and on all night. What I'm saying is, as we enter 2026, be thinking about these things and take some action. Actually do something different. Get together. Make that phone call. Work hard. Do what you got to do. If you have questions, comments, concerns, I'm very happy for any of you to call me an idiot, especially you, Dan. What do we have? Oh, my God, Daniel, with all of these comments. What do we have? Sounds happy to me. Big Red, what's up? Yeah, Big Red. Dude, Andrew, that's literally that's a prime person right there who should be leading a revolution. Let's do something. Let's talk distribution. Let's get some stuff out there. Let's make a feature. Let's make 3. I don't care if they're good or bad. Let's just make stuff. Let's make as much stuff as humanly possible. Obviously well thought out, but like, come on now. This is just, it's crazy. I don't know. What else we got? I guess, what did he say? So without film school, I wouldn't have opened those doors for myself. Read for me what he's saying.
I think the biggest thing when it comes to getting a degree is just having a piece of paper that you can fall back on, because with the degree, any liberal arts degree in the world, you can use that to fall back on to any corporate job pretty much.
Say it again.
The whole thing? I think the biggest thing when it comes to getting a degree is just having a piece of paper that you
Dan,
can
what the
fall
hell does
back
it have
on.
to do with a film degree? Getting a degree. What the hell does a degree is not going to do anything for you. It doesn't do anything. What has it done for you? What has it done for you?
Kind of got me my first job because like a requirement was you needed a degree in some sort of like field of Bachelor of Science or something like that.
Did you need a film production degree?
You just needed a degree. Basically.
Right. So why is a film degree important is what I'm asking. That's the question. Not why is a degree important. Let me tell you, if you're going to be a fucking brain surgeon or something, please get a degree. Get 6 of them or whatever it is. You're not touching me, especially. You're not touching me without a degree, okay? But at the same time, we're talking about an art degree here. How is it possible that some of the people that are the most famous, successful people in this industry, Christopher Nolan, don't need film school. What's his name from New Hampshire there? He just made a Nosferatu. Come on. Whatever, from New Hampshire. He's another one you don't need a Nosferatu, the most recent one. I'm sorry.
Robert Eggers?
That's the one. That's the one.
Lee, New Hampshire.
You have George Lucas dropped out of USC. You have Steven Spielberg who made Jaws at 27 years old. What are you making? We're entering our 30s. I feel like I'm talking to a whole generation of filmmakers here. As we come up and we get into this adulthood that is our 30s and 40s, it is incumbent upon us to continue to like do the work. We are the adults now. There's no more kids' table at Thanksgiving. We're just joining the adults. What are we doing? We're running around acting like a bunch of useless children that complain and whine and wait for mommy to pick us up and give us a cookie. It's not happening. Go bake your own cookie. That's all I got. You got anything else? You got anything in there you want to say? You got anything out there? If you got anything, put it in the chat. This channel's not monetized, so leave a comment. Tell me something. What do we have, like me and you watching? That's it?
We got some viewers.
That's good. Well, we appreciate it. it all relies on what you want to do. Of course, Dan. Of course it all relies on what you want to do. What I'm saying is an art degree, not that art degrees are bad, you know, but if you're not, and I'm not even saying don't go to film school, but question, why can we not ask more questions about what we're being taught? How is this going to help me? How is this going to make me, you know, give me a career of any kind? You know, for $100,000, when I got people out there that are looking for $50K right now to make a movie that you could have made a movie with and spent the other 50 on advertising, and you would have made triple, quadruple, quintuple your money back on the film. Instead, you went to film school, and yes, I'm sure you made great connections, and there are great people there, but, like, it's not working. It's not working. I'm not even telling you to drop out. Get your degree, do what you got to do, you know, but focus. Focus on what's going to matter. It doesn't mean that you can't succeed in film, but take the classes that matter for afterward. You should be able to have the access to the equipment and stuff like that, but I don't know. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Been going for quite some time. I think that's good for tonight, 45-ish, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be back next Monday with more stuff. We're going to get into some specific topics, and I think it's going to be good. We're gonna if film school won't teach you how to do it, I'll do it. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.